So let's be honest. Are you settling? Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and check out all my other previous videos. I also have a website, themirrorimageinc.com, that you need to go check out because a lot of the subjects that I cover in my videos, I've written articles about that go in a little bit more detail. So make sure you check those out. So here recently, I have been talking with a lot of friends about the idea of settling. And for this particular video, I'm talking about settling with a partner or in a relationship, and not so much about settling at work or in your social life or different things like that, because as we know, you can settle in any scenario, but this particular one is about relationships. Here's the thing. When you're in a relationship, there is gonna always be some amount of compromise, and that's okay. You're supposed to have a give and take. But there's a difference between compromising a situation and compromising yourself. And when you get to the point where you're compromising yourself, you're actually settling. You're making a relationship work that has no merit or no reason to work because it's easier to be in that relationship. If you ever have to convince yourself that this is a great thing, chances are you're not happy in it. And if you're not happy in it, why are you there? Period. So in this video, I'm gonna define 5 different ways to know when you're settling in a relationship and how to kind of pull yourself out of that and find something that makes you happy and brings joy to your relationships. Let's start this off very simple. Number 1, you spend more time defending your relationship than actually having your relationship. Now let me put this point out there and make this clear. It is not your job to convince other people that you're happy. Who cares? You don't have to tell anybody anything if you don't want to. I personally am a somewhat secretive person when it comes to my relationships. You won't know anything's going on until like we're damn near married, and then it's like, oh, you've been dating this whole time? So no, you're not obligated to tell anybody any of your information. However, if you're in a situation where you constantly have to defend that person not being around, not being proactive, not doing things for you, if you find that you're doing that, chances are you're settling. Number 2, you keep giving the other person praise for something they should be doing anyway. The chances are you're trying to justify being with somebody who does the bare minimum. And I mean the bare minimum. If you have to justify all the crappy things somebody's done to you by thinking of the small, eeny, weeny, teeny, weeny things that they've done for you, you might be settling when the good is so minute that you're literally just making it up as you go along. Thinking hard about all the little things that actually worked. Number 3, you end up compromising all of the time. Relationships are about compromising and learning each other and being acceptant of each other's flaws and everything like that. You're not gonna have a functioning relationship if you don't know how to appreciate someone's good times and someone's bad times, because that's all that life is. As an individual, you're gonna go through ups and downs. So it's not fair to assume that another person doesn't also go through ups and downs. And you need to be able to love and respect and grow with them in the same way you want them to love and respect and grow with you. That being said, there's a difference from a give and take in a relationship and always giving. You should never be compromising to the point where you're no longer even doing anything you actually want to do. So if that's the case, you need to walk away because you are settling and forcing a relationship to work that really isn't gonna work. Number 4, you're constantly comparing your relationships to other people's relationships. This has become big anyway because of social media. Here's the thing about relationships. Everybody's relationship is gonna be different. And that's a great thing. There is no step-by-step manual on how to be in love. You do what works for you. No particular path is right or wrong. It's just what works for the individuals. Don't feel like because your friends go out every night that you have to go out every night. It's not about that. It's about what do you and your partner love to do. And if you don't have anything or can't find anything that you love to do, or the things you're doing are things you don't love, you'll end up pointing at everybody else's story, wondering why your story isn't just like theirs. So if you get to that point, you need to examine, are you really happy in that relationship, or are you just in a relationship? Are you settling? Number 5. Out of all of the previous numbers I've listed, number 5 is the biggest one because it ties into every single one of them. Are you using the word at least to define your relationship? That word is the death of any situation. Because to me, if you have to say at least for anything that you're doing, chances are you're trying to justify not being happy in it in the first place. Because what you're doing is not only settling, but you're essentially giving up. At least means that you're so unhappy, you're very unhappy, but it's better than what exactly? I don't know. I personally cannot stand this phrase, and I wish people would just stop saying it altogether. And if you're in my presence and you say to me, well, at least, I'm gonna cut you off right there. Stop settling for at least. You deserve more than at least. It's not good enough. That is not good enough for your relationships, for your life, for you. If you find yourself looking at any of these 5 topics and seeing it in the relationship you're currently in, this is what you need to do. You need to stop. Think about how you got there. You're in a settling situation because you felt you had to settle. Why? Why did you feel you had to settle? What is it that you're looking for? What is it that you want? And don't just be generic, be real. What is it that you want? What relationship do you want? What is it from yourself that you want? You attract people to you that reflect how you're feeling on the inside. So if you're feeling like somebody's not giving you enough, it's because you're not giving you enough. And so you only invite people who are gonna reflect what you give yourself. So give yourself more. Reflect on yourself more. I covered this in another video that I did prior to this one. What are you putting out there that you're getting back? Next thing you need to do is accept that everybody has a separate timeline for life. Just because your friend got married in her 20s doesn't mean that you should be doing the same thing. Everybody has a different timeline for their lives. So if it's not time for me to be married, that's okay, because that means that when it is time, it'll fit for me. It won't fit for anybody else. I don't want to have the same relationship that any of my friends have, not because they're bad, but because they're their relationships. You have to get out of the mindset that you have to be like everybody else, because then you're looking at your life as an individual. This is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I deserve. Lastly, and this is again based off of my number 5 point, no more at least. Words have power, and when you speak things into the air, you speak them into existence. At least is a word that you speak into the air, and then you speak that type of mentality into existence. So then you're no longer reaching for the stars, you're reaching for the middle. You're reaching for the easy. You're at least doing something. Stop with the at least. When you find yourself saying that, I want you to stop and think about what you're saying it about and why you're saying it and why this thing is important for you to be saying that stupid word. I don't like it. At least is the worst thing you can do to yourself. It's giving up. It's not trying. It's settling. If you feel like you are settling, pull yourself back from that situation and analyze it. Not just the other person, but analyze yourself. Why are you saying at least? Why are you giving up and just letting somebody else have control? Why are you comparing your life to other people? Thank you for joining me on this video. Again, don't forget to check out my blog and my other videos. And don't forget to look in the mirror. See the reflection of the person you want to be. Bye.